What's going on, everybody? So I had my old video taken down for unknown reasons, something about harmful to the community or whatever. I don't know. It's a bunch of jokes anymore. But I wanted to talk today about something I have found, and obviously you heard what that is. It's a big scary gun. A option that I have found for the CZ P-09. This is the duty model with the 4.54 inch barrel. Before we do anything, magazine well's empty. Nothing in the chamber. Go boom. I bought it because I like hammer fire guns, and I've wanted a CZ. I like the look of this gun. It almost kind of reminds me of CZ's take on a 2011, kind of that full frame, big slide, hammer fired with a safety. And I have a P10C, and there's nothing wrong with striker fireds. I like striker fireds, but I love hammer fireds more. I mean, yeah, that's another mechanism to fail, but I mean, so is a freaking striker fire. And I have a Glock 19, so if that says anything, I really don't care what it is. This is a holster option that I found. It's a Safariland 6360-4502 for the Sig P3. I shot my foot off, the 5-inch barrel with the M3 light. If you know what the M3 light is, congratulations. You're already looking at this and saying, something's wrong. I know Safariland holsters. That's not right. And I understand that, and I'm going to get to that point. And as you can see, I definitely have. It fits in there. It locks. The strap retention does lock. Besides my hand moving with the mid drop, this thing does not move in there. The trigger guard's right there at the end, so you get a good grip on the gun. And I apologize for the angle. I'm in the middle of transitioning my stuff from downstairs in the basement to the spare bedroom in our house, so I don't have a tripod. I can't talk, I'm dyslexic. So that's hammer up, hammer down, still locks, and it does not go anywhere. So I think this is a pretty good option for people who are wanting not necessarily a duty holster, but a holster that locks, so that way you can carry this. And I know, why would you carry a big gun like this one? You never know. I think that the 6360 is a good option because it does lock, it does latch. The reason I took out the ejection port lock is because whenever you really cram it down in there, if you sit it down just like that, a comfortable level where it's not, you know, forced down, stretching out the holster well, you know, it does grab, and it does hold pretty decently. The only thing I found with this one is if you have the safety on, like I do, I don't have the decocker, I have a kid, I prefer to have a safety, is when you go to put it inside of the holster, you can see it touches right there on that little dip where the bevel is for the strap lock. But if you get the decent angle and decent push, it will actually drop your safety, which means when you get to take it out of the holster, you're ready for business. Now, the reason I took that one out, the ejection port lock, is because in order for it to latch onto the ejection port, you really got to cram this thing down in there. You see how much it sits down below the rear sights. And then you have to horse it up out of there. You really got to get a grip right here on the edge where your thumb bar would be to pull it out. And I feel like over time, that's going to mess up the mechanism on the ejection port latch itself. Not necessarily on the gun, because, you know, this is metal, and the ejection port lock inside of the holster is just plastic. So I feel like forcing it down in there after a while, especially on this metal, is really going to destroy that latch. And you really don't want to destroy anything. I mean, you want to kind of keep this thing you know, pretty good condition considering. But I have always been looking for the option, and I finally found one. So this is kind of my word, my opinion. I wouldn't necessarily recommend. This is just, hey, there is an option. Somebody does love me. And unfortunately, it's the Sig P320 with the 5-inch barrel. It does lock, it does fit, and it does hold pretty well. So I wouldn't buy one of these brand new, because you are going to have a possible warranty issue if anything were to happen to it. I mean, they may not honor the warranty because you altered the natural operation of the holster, which is removing that ejection port lock. I don't know. That's just me coming from an automotive perspective, where if you alter, let's say, an exhaust, and you got to take a car in for motor work because you've got, you know, a tick or an oil consumption, they will find the most stupidest reasons not to cover something because you altered it. And who knows if it's going to be the same way. I haven't personally worked with Safarilands before. I have family in law enforcement, and I've used the holster before, which is kind of the reason why I wanted to try this. I went out and spent my money trying to just give an idea. So I really took a gamble here, but it really paid off. So I'm hoping this really helps you guys out as far as finding that option and just having something that would lock with a light. I've never seen anything on YouTube about it. I've seen people where they've used a heat gun on it, which, I mean, more power to you. If you can do it, by all means do it. But I've only seen one person that actually had a picture showing the P-09 inside of a holster, but he was using a Surefire X300. So the Surefire does work in here as well, and I had the Streamlight TLR1 HL. So I'm hoping this really helps you guys out and gives you that definitive answer of, will this work? Yes, it will work if you take out the ejection port lock, because like I said, you don't want to break anything, and you don't want to sit there and have a warranty issue, God forbid, if you happen to go buy it brand new. And at least that way it's not coming back on you and you're responsible for a $200, $250 holster. So I hope you guys find this helpful. Hopefully I answered you guys' question about that and kind of gave you my personal opinion about what I found and what I think would be a good idea to make this function every day with no issues. So take for that what you will, and you guys have a good one.